Hello, beautiful souls. I'm Jozee from Lily Leaf, and I'm just wondering, where is heaven? I've asked this question before. Obviously, we look at everything as a frequency, so it's a vibrational resonance, an octave of. So, we're actually, as souls, we're tuning into the earth reality frequency. But yeah, where is heaven? Is it just a frequency? Or I'm also wondering, a lot of people will talk about Earth. This is like a game. It's like a simulation. Like a construct. And some people say that this is a universal construct, and there's different layers of dimensional spaces in different realms. And so is heaven within this construct? So is heaven still not that next level of being even out of the construct, or out of this universe, or out of, like, is heaven still a belief? Like, is it just like the interim, the what do they call it, the in-between space? So is it just the in-between space for souls when they've kind of come out of this earth simulation, and they're still not quite remembering their true selves? They still think they're human in a way. They've forgotten their higher self. Or do we completely remember when we tune into heaven? Or do we even go to heaven when we pass, if we remember being like a galactic being, or if we remember being on another star planet? Do we just go straight back to our star families, or do we stop off at heaven in between and then decide where we go? Like, I also wanted to ask the question of, are there lotus flowers in heaven? As I have heard that there is like a water feature with a big lotus symbol on it in heaven. And is that why, like, I have my lily leaf came from a water lily symbol that I'm kind of got downloaded when I was doing a yoga relaxation at the end. So yeah, it came up with my symbol. And now, like, when you look around, there's so many lotus flower symbols within businesses and all around the place. So what is the significance of the lotus flower, and is that in heaven? So what I thought I'd do is tune into the higher, the more expanded consciousness. So I thought I'd tune in and see what they had to say today, because I'm actually having fun. I call it channeling, but really it's kind of like telepathy. I'm just telepathically tuning into the frequency of other individuals and within other dimensions and within other realms, because it's all one energy, it's all part of us, so it's all connected. So I'm just tuning into their frequency in kind of like a telepathic way. I'm using my antenna, so it's kind of like the brain is an antenna, but then for me, I actually feel like I use my heart more. The heart is like that universal vortex that connects you to the quantum field and the light codes, the geometric shapes and patterns that help you interpret in a telepathic way of what other beings, what other individuals are saying across the universe and beyond the universe. So, okay, so let's tune in and let's ask, where is heaven? Okay, if you guys want to take a deep breath, and if we all tune in, and we'll just put out the highest of frequencies. I just close my eyes because otherwise I get so distracted. It's like having ADHD or OCD, where you just can't focus sometimes when you're tuning into your multi-dimensional aspects and into the quantum realms. So let's bring in all the love and light from the highest realms, from the oneness of the universe. Let's bring in source energy, and let's clear out the old any old energy that doesn't serve us anymore. And let's bring in all soul fragments, all soul dimensions, all soul codes, all soul aspects from the higher self, from the oneness of the universe that is the pure, unconditional love and light and clean clarity, wisdom, abundance for all. Okay, so thank you so much for joining us today. We are from the 12th dimension perspective. We are the keepers of wisdom, and we are coming in today because we love this question. Yes, where is heaven? Where is heaven? Yes, you can visualize a beautiful heavenly space and place where there is more peace, there is more love, there is more a combination of all of your dreams, everything that you want to manifest that comes to fruition very quickly. We would say, yes, it is a frequency, but it is connected to the earth as well at the same time. So it's a realm of its own, but it was joined, you could say joined. There's like layers, you could visualize layers, maybe layers of earth at geography. You might have learnt the layers of earth. So you could look at the realms as layers of different dimensional spaces. So they are joined together, but they will look different. So like when you're looking at the earth patterns, you know, you might look at the dense clay colors, and then you'll start to come up to the different colors of the soils, depending on which area you are. So the realms can look like different colors, different patterns, different fractals of light, different spectrums, but it is all the same energy at the same time. So yes, the heavenly realms are here. They are now. So yes, this is an interim, a stopover, you might say. A stopover just to find your bearings and realign yourself and get yourself back into your comfort zone again, you might say, your true self, your higher self. So sometimes when beings and individuals have been on these bumpy rides in the third dimension, and even the fifth dimension, and sometimes the sixth dimension, they might want to go back to what you call the heavenly realms, because it's more of a space where it is more balanced, there's more alignment, there's more attunement, there's more clarity. There is more stillness, more peace, more love. And you can bring this onto earth at any time. And this is what you're doing for your new earth creations. You are bringing that heavenly space, that heavenly attunement, that heavenly frequency, which is more calm, more peaceful, more aligned. Your manifestations are far easier. All you need to do is think about something and create it in the heavenly realms. You will find it very exciting when you do go back to the heavenly realms. We're not saying that you're going back anytime soon, but we just know some of you are inquisitive about these beautiful heavenly realms. So yes, it is a space and a place, you could say, but it is a frequency just like the earth reality. So the heavenly realms are still within this construct, this what we call a universe. So not all universes have the heavenly realms, but they'll have something similar. So they just won't be calling it the heavenly realms. They will have a space where they go back to just to restore, replenish, revive, realign again. Just bring themselves back into who they truly are, bring themselves back into the now, present moment, to just relax again, because all of these games, these simulations, these realities, these constructs, these energetic frequencies of different bandwidths and resonance and octaves and polarities and dualities and connectiveness. These are all things that you are playing as a soul, and sometimes you just need to take a break and come back. But the true break actually lies within the void, some call it a womb, but we don't always call it a womb because then that might feel like an alignment to the feminine energy. And the womb, the void, the dark space, the nothing, the no thing that contains everything is not feminine and it's not masculine. It is both. So that's why sometimes we're hesitant to say the womb, because the womb is, yes, where things are birthed, but it has the masculine energy as well. So you could say that the masculine energy is birthing at the same time as the feminine energy. It is a collaboration between both feminine and divine. And you have to remember, you have just been playing the game on Earth where there are just the feminine and the divine. And then there are souls as well that are playing other aspects that you would have heard of. And now you are coming out. There are more and more aspects that the soul, the higher self, the divine source energy are playing. So there's far more than masculine and feminine, but that's for another story. So yes, the heavenly realms does contain a lotus symbol. The lotus symbol is within the heavenly realms, and it is within other realms as well. It's more a symbol of peace, balance, love, intuition, enlightenment. Enlightenment meaning that you are bringing yourself back into like the now space where source resides. So you're remembering that you are the oneness of everything, would say beyond the universe as well. You go beyond the universe because you are far greater than even just one universe. You are the multiverse, the multi-dimensional self. So yes, heaven does contain a lotus flower, the lotus symbols. Yes, there are beautiful, what you would call lakes with lotus flowers, far beyond the colors that you have even seen on Earth. There is far more than what you have remembered, but you are starting to remember now. It's almost like heaven is like almost a fairy tale. You know what you would visualize a fairy tale to be? Just amplified, exciting, dreamy, um, more, we don't want to use the word wizardry, but magical. The word magical comes up in just a fun, exciting, flowing way. Like your aspects of the butterfly are just even more delicately beautiful. Sorry, Josie's struggling with that word. Delicate. The every little animal, every creature and beyond are just more heightened. Your senses are more heightened. So you tune into their consciousness, their fun, their excitement, their flow. You can even get 12-foot butterflies in heaven. You can even fly on a butterfly's wings on their back. They're strong, they're powerful. There are the most magical creatures in heaven. There are birds that almost look like what you would call a dinosaur, a bird, not like the pterodactyl, but you could say maybe there are these beautiful birds. They almost look like a parrot, but they have a long tail that's flowing. Their wings are widespread, 3 meters long. You can fly on these. They make the most incredible noises. They put out light code frequencies of healing, of wellness, of flow, of fun, of excitement. Heavenly realms are very colorful. If you actually looked at the heavenly realms now with your own eyes, your own light spectrum, your own light senses that are being interpreted by your brain functionality, you would find that the heavenly realms would be very bright for you. It would be almost like when you're tuning into, say, you're updating your computer or your TV color, your high definition. The high definition would be so bright that it would actually be blinding to the human earthly eyes. But what you can do is you can tune into it in what you call your third eye within this dimension. And then you can connect to the other realms, the higher realms, the other dimensions. And at the beginning, you will even squint with your eyes closed. So if you tune in and ask the heavenly realms, you can ask the angelics to help you. The angelics can help you tune into the heavenly realms. And so what you will see with your eyes closed, it will be very bright and you will literally start squinting because it's so bright. But then you will start to attune to those frequencies. So it's like you're tuning into your multi-dimensional aspects again. So your wider perception will awaken and you will remove yourself from your brain function and you will go into your heart spectrum and your frequency alignment will attune to the heavenly realms and bring in the color definition that you've never seen before. Like if you did go to your paint shop, you would see a lot of these colors now. Because before, when you went to your paint shop in the 1950s, say, there might have been 20 color aspects for you to choose from. And now there are thousands of color aspects. But if you tune into the heavenly realms and beyond these realms, you will see millions of colors, millions, even trillions when you go back into the source energetic frequency. And you'll say, how can there be so many colors? Well, you would be surprised how many colors we can actually create as source energy. So if you start to attune to more colors, then you'll find your life will get brighter and brighter. So we would recommend tuning into the new earth. You can do the fifth dimensional frequencies, but we would even say for you that are watching, you can easily attune to the sixth dimensional frequencies and 7-dimensional frequencies. If you go beyond the 7D frequencies, then it does become a bit of a light spectrum factor because you are still in this physical body. We can see a lot more in the higher realms, the higher dimensional spaces, because we don't have the physical body. The physical body is almost like wearing a blindfold. Some days it's blocking you from sensing and feeling the whole light spectrum. But you that are attuned already to the higher frequencies can easily see the 6th and the 7th dimensional frequencies. Yes, don't get us wrong. You can see the 12th dimensions, the 13th dimensions, and even the 20th dimensions. Yes, there are 20 dimensions, 22 dimensions. You could say we are infinite beings. So there are far more than just what you've been told. Some say there are 12 dimensions, with the 13th being source frequency, but no, there is far more than the 13 realms, the 13 densities. It does get complex with you are still stuck in that physics Newtonian reality where things are, it's like you are stuck in a box, but your box it's no longer like a cement concrete box. It has started to become a clear glass box, so you can see a lot more. Now it's actually becoming a cardboard box, meaning that is a lot more malleable, a lot softer, so that you can start to break free through your boxes. And then you will be able to see a lot more of the higher dimensional spaces, the higher realms, the 22 realms, and beyond. We have beyond the 22 realms, but for the human mind, it does get a bit confusing. Being a quantum continuum within the universe, it is almost like the eternity. If you think of the figure 8, it kind of goes low and high and low and high. So the 22, if you did tune into the 22nd realm, you'd almost be tuning back into the lower realms, the higher realms at the same time. You have to really become your higher self, your multi-dimensional aspect, to be able to tune into all at once, all at the same time. And for the human brain, even for the human body, it almost feels like you're going to explode, because the power that you have within you, the power of the source frequencies, the source energy, the power of the higher realms is just, it's like plugging yourself into the biggest PowerPoint that you could imagine. It's almost like getting a shock from a lightning bolt when you're tuning into those higher dimensions, those higher aspects of yourself. It is, yeah, you are very powerful. And what you've done in this earth reality, this earthly construct, is you have limited yourself. So you've taken your consciousness into dense, deep energies, and you have aligned with a low, dense frequency. We still don't like to say it's low, because you're not lower, you're not less than us. You're actually very brave, and we are all very proud of you, because it's like you've limited yourself and put yourself in a box, put yourself in a cave, put yourself in a cage. We're not literally saying you're in a cage or a box or a prison. Please do not get us wrong there. But we're just saying you're limited yourselves to see what it is like to be less powerful. Because when you're so extremely powerful, you can do anything, you can be anything, you can feel anything, you can create anything you want to create. So it's a really fun game for souls to create that limitation that you have created. So yes, back to the heavenly realms. As you pass back. It's almost just like walking through a door. Sometimes it can be a bit fuzzy because you've forgotten your true self, you've forgotten who you are. It depends on your perspective and where you are at this time. If you want to be greeted by your star families, yes, you can be greeted by your star families. But yes, a lot of you get greeted by Jesus, because he is a comforting, familiar face. So we do create the Jesus simulation. We're not saying that it's not real, because the aspect of Jesus, yes, does come in, because we are all oneness. So yes, he does come in. But he can also be something else, whatever you want to be. He can be your loved one that has passed. He can be God, if that is what you are into. He can be source energy. It can be the universe. It can be, so you might not be greeted by anyone, and do not worry. This does not mean that you're not loved. But normally we like to send one of our beautiful light beings to support you, and it has an aspect of that person, of that frequency. But at the same time, that frequency, that person might have moved on to other realms, you might call them jobs. They're not actually jobs unless you find jobs fun. So they might have moved on, but they'll still, a part of them, their multidimensional self, will still come back to greet you. So yes, it will be your loved one, it will be Jesus, it will be source energy, it will be star families, but they can also be somewhere else at the same time. That's what we're trying to say. You as a multidimensional aspect, you can be anywhere at once, everywhere at once at the same time, because everything is now. So yes, you walk through, it's almost like you walk through a door. You might look back at your physical body and think, what is that? Like that is me, but it wasn't me. That is like an organic suit that I put on to play this game, a character, an avatar. Wow, what a fun game that was. I look back, I'm not worried, I'm not scared, I'm not fearful, I'm excited. Wow, what a game, what a rush. The feelings, the thoughts, everything starts to come back of who you truly are. Sometimes it can take a while, depending on how stuck in this old matrix system you were of the false narratives. We won't say false, because everything is true to the believer of what they what they intuitively agree with, what their soul contract has agreed with, what their higher self has agreed with. So all aspects are loved, all aspects are catered for. So you walk through the door to what it won't be the heavenly realms straight away. It will be we don't like the word waiting room. It's more fun than a waiting room. It's more loving. It's more, you will feel more of a blissful state. You will feel more peace, more relaxed. You will have light beings that will be supporting you, and they will be guiding you and showing you which way to go. And then, yes, you can choose. Your soul, your higher self will choose if it thinks that you do need to go to the heavenly realms for that in between stage, just to relax, to replenish, to revive. You can have healing. You can have whatever you need. Yes, you can see your loved ones if that's what you wish. You could see your star families. Your star families can visit you there. It is like a stopover frequency, a stopover world, you could say, a stopover. You could imagine a beautiful floating island in the middle of the universe, by the galactic sun that is warm and blissful and peaceful and loving. Yes, it has the lotus flowers around. Yes, there are lotus flower symbols. It's almost like a rainbow frequency light spectrum. So it is hard for your eyes to see the heavenly realms because it is made of a different light spectrum, a light spectrum that, you know how your dogs and cats see and hear different things. So the heavenly realms are on a different light spectrum. But as you awaken, as you raise your frequencies, you are tuning in more to the higher spectrums of light. We would say, yes, rainbow light, but it's actually far more than rainbow, because rainbows are limited to certain colors within your reality. So it is more of an extravaganza of light that has created the heavenly realms. It's filled with beautiful light codes of information, octaves of frequency and sound that resonate with your cells, but in the higher realms, you more have light bodies than what we would call cells. Cells are more of what we would call physical, even though it's not physical because everything is energy, energetic frequencies. But in the higher realms, you do have more light body frequencies, which actually makes you feel better. It makes you feel good because your body doesn't have the aches and pains as a light body as the physical human body or lower denser bodies. Even it's not just the human body that has the uncomfortable effects of the physical body. It is many other individuals, star beings, and other beings that are on your planet at the moment, and other beings that are in fifth dimension still can have a bit of uncomfortableness, but they've learnt to heal themselves faster, and they do have healing technology, and they have energetic frequencies within their, what you might call their third eye and heart chakras, for healing and just balancing and realigning faster than the human can remember to do. But you are all remembering now to remember how to heal yourselves, and you're also creating the technology. You're re-engineering the technology from the star beings. You're being given technology from other star systems, and you're just remembering how to telepathically talk to your friends and family and other individuals within the universe. And some of you can even talk to other universes because you have come from other universes, and that is another video. So thank you all so much for joining us. We are the Keepers of Wisdom from the 12th dimension. We can say we are from the 13th dimension and beyond as well. It is hard to explain where we are from. When we get together, we do meet in a certain realm. What we've done is we have dropped ourselves into a frequency where we can actually communicate with you. Even though we are from higher frequencies, if we are from such what you would call high frequencies, but it's just more expanded consciousness, expanded awareness. The octaves are very high. It's almost like your dogs can hear a very high octave, a high pitched sound. So we are from these very high pitched sound resonant frequency bandwidths. So what we have to do is we have to drop ourselves down further. So we end up creating a different body. Our light bodies have to change because for us it feels like we are going down into denser energy. So yes, we're saying we're from the 12th dimension, but we actually are from higher dimensions. But to meet you, we come to the 12th dimension because we love to come and meet you and have these conversations. And we love to try and support wherever we can, as we have helped create this, what you call the game, the simulation, the earth reality. We have helped create this. And we know there has been a lot going on. So we are trying to help you realign back to the divine original blueprint, and that is what we created. We created the original divine blueprint of the earth frequency, and it is pretty much the same as the heavenly realms. But it did get, we don't like the word hijacked because we are all the same energy. We are all playing the game, but it did get kind of flipped upside down, you would say. There are codes. So you could say that earth reality is like a blueprint. It's a code. So it's filled with codes. And pretty much what's happened is your codes have been distorted. So it's almost like they're literally backwards. The codes are backwards. So it's like Earth is folded into itself in a backwards way. So you've been on the backwards Earth. This is very hard to explain. But what is happening now is we're reconnecting you back to the heavenly earth, the heaven on earth, the what you call the new earth, the fifth dimension. We say sixth, seventh dimension and beyond. So we are adjusting the light codes of frequency. So everything you learned was, not everything we would say, but most things you learned was backwards. So now what's happened is you're having to realign, readjust, and completely, it's almost like, say if you look at a clock and it's going in a clockwise way. So the clocks have gone clockwise. And so what's been happening to you, your cells, your frequency, your chakras, you've almost been going anti-clockwise. So your frequencies have been going the opposite way to what you would have normally done in the higher realms. So now what you're being shifted to do with these powerful high frequencies, these solar flares, this divine light, the star, the galactics, your inner healing, your inner wellness, your inner knowing, you are shifting back to go back into a clockwise position. So the earth is shifting, the tectonic plates are shifting, the alignment is happening again. So you were facing south, and now you're being told, no more facing south. You have to face north, but you're so used to facing south. So you're kind of resisting. So what we're recommending is to flow with it, to relax and allow these energies to shift you back into your divine resonant frequency. So then you'll be more in tune with the heavenly realms. And then earth will feel like a heaven on earth again, like it was meant to. Like it was originally planned. So thank you all so much for joining us. We appreciate you. Everything you're doing is helping. And if you can visualize peace at this time and really look after yourselves, give yourselves that love and compassion that you deserve, because you are a powerful soul. You are connected to the divine light. You are so loved, and we are sending you high frequency light codes to balance every energy point within your center, within your chakras, within your cells, within your soul codes. So thank you again, and we wish you well. Okay. Oh, was that a long one? Oh, okay. Wow. Where is heaven? It is a frequency. I could see a lot of heaven then. That was quite cool. Yeah, it was beautiful. All right, guys. Well, let's bring heaven back to earth, shall we? Let's not worry about what's going on in the outside world because we are the anchor lights. We are the beams of high frequency energy that are restoring the new earth frequencies. Okay, so don't worry about what's going on in the world, the media, what your family might say. It's okay. All right. You are loved. You are wellness. You are incredible. So thanks for joining me, and I will see you all soon. Bye for now.